Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me on the Slice of Healthcare podcast. I'm your host, Jared Taylor. Joining me today is Ryan Eder, the CEO and founder at IncludeHealth. Ryan, how are you today?
I'm good, Jared. How about yourself?
Doing well. This marks a first for me. First time I'm standing on an episode.
All right. Okay. Get a little better blood flow, huh? A little
Don't
better
ask me why.
ergonomics.
Yeah, just like my legs today, like I can't sit. I had to, and my standing desk is over there, half put together. This is a great
Yeah,
time
they're
to have
tough.
it. I'm hunched
Yeah,
over right now.
right.
Um, I had to get. You're gonna laugh at this. I had to get a. In my plate, I've never had a power tool. So
Really?
yeah, so I bought this one online, this Black and Decker, and it's like this small. It's a small drill that like fits in my hand, and I'm like, there's no. I'm holding it on
Yeah.
like the full blast, and like it's not even hurting my hand. Um, so that's what's gonna
That's
put together the table. Yeah.
that's funny. I've got a few friends that have designed a lot of power tools. I'm a Cobalt loyalist because of that. But yeah, they all get the job done.
Hey, it's so. I mean, I'm thinking, do I live stream me putting this together? Because it'd be great TV for someone.
Oh yeah,
Um,
right.
yeah, it's wild. I'm excited to have you here today. Why don't we kick things off? Let's assume, there's people that listen to the show that have heard of you, but let's assume there's still people that haven't. Give us a quick overview of your background, and then we'd love if you could dive into an overview of IncludeHealth.
Sure. Yeah. No, I appreciate you having me on. A little background on myself. So, product designer by trade. Prior to Include, I designed a lot of like physical products. So designed like golf clubs for Nike and TaylorMade and medical equipment for Ethicon and Stryker. But really through Include, the passion and the mission has been fusing design with technology to really make physical therapy more accessible. We got our start back in 2018, where our first product was a fully digitized functional trainer. Kind of think of like a medical grade tonal, if you will, that we installed in clinics. And it was connected to our software that let physical therapists create digital plans and send it to the machine, guide patients through, record data on their performance, understand what's really going on. And the initial feedback we got was that people liked the machine. They liked the software more and wanted more stuff connected to the software than just a single machine. And so it was actually in late 19, we ended up doing a deal with Cincinnati Children's in collaboration with the Air Force that got us into computer vision. And that's all we do now. We don't do the machines anymore, but we really leverage computer vision to extend care, specifically physical therapy, into patients' homes. And so this is a bit different than, we're not the first to use tech in physical therapy, of course, right? But our approach is a bit different to where, historically a lot of folks have used technology to build virtual only providers to compete with brick and mortar. Our approach is complete opposite. We want to be a tech partner to unlock hybrid care, really a seamless blend of on-site and remote for existing providers. So we work with health systems, PT networks, ortho practices, and the government.
I really like your approach. Really love the brand and everything too. By the way, I know it's there's more to it than that, but that's the first thing I always look into when we have guests on. Like, what does the brand look like? How are they presenting themselves? So kudos to you and the team
Appreciate
for
that.
what you've done there. Yeah. It's weird, Ryan. Every time I come on these podcasts, it's like I forget because the mic's right in my face. It's like I forget how to breathe. Like when you're talking, I'm like holding my breath and I'm like, okay, mute myself because I'm not gonna have the audience just hear me.
You don't want to hear the mouth breathing, right?
You don't want to hear heavy breathing in a mic when you're listening to a podcast.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
um, Ryan, I'd like to shift gears a little bit. Thank you for the overview and your background. You have a tagline on your website that says, powering the next evolution of MSK care. Can you talk us through how you believe you're powering that next evolution?
Sure. Like, if you think of musculoskeletal care, obviously that covers a wide gamut. We're talking specifically in physical therapy, But physical therapy historically you could only access it by being face to face with that clinician in the clinic. Of course, everyone had to adapt through COVID, but come on the other side of COVID, there's now optionality, and COVID kind of showed us different ways that we can deliver care and ways maybe we should not deliver care. There's a big wave of virtual only physical therapy, virtual only musculoskeletal care, and you understand that approach. At the same time, not everything can be treated virtually. Conversely, not everything needs to be on site. So really, when we think about the next evolution of musculoskeletal care, we think that is hybrid care, is this blend of on-site and remote. And as cliche as it may sound, I mean, it is about delivering the right care at the right time and place. And so, finally, you have this convergence of technology, reimbursement landscape, just overall technical aptitude because of COVID of getting care, through technology that creates really this inflection point for the industry that I think is going to be a permanent shift moving forward.
So you just mentioned, you know, basically why hybrid care is so important. When you and I were talking earlier, you were talking about how, one of the things that Include Health does is basically unlocks hybrid care. Um,
Mm-hmm.
can you define what that means, and why
Sure.
is it so important?
Yeah, sure. So let I mean, I think it's always helpful to make it tangible and walk through like a scenario, right? So, a lot of times when, you need physical therapy, it's because you're in pain. And you can fill out forms all you want, but you really can't replace like a physical therapist putting their hands on you and understanding what's going on underneath, right? And figuring it out, applying their expertise. So imagine you go to physical therapy, you see your PT, they get you on a track. Um, Instead of them giving you some printouts to do at home of some exercises, I mean, you're supposed to do your exercises a lot more than the times you go into the clinic. Being able to give them access to a platform that is powered by computer vision and it runs on their own devices. And so essentially, you get an email or a text from your PT that says, hey, your plan is ready. We're entirely web based. And so that means that we run on laptops, tablets, and phones. So we're truly device agnostic for whatever makes sense for that individual. And they click that link. We're HIPAA compliant. We're a registered device with the FDA. And they pull up their plan. And, it's in the browser. It's a smart website. We turn on their webcam. We activate the computer vision. We turn like the visuals off because people don't need to see that stuff. And it's just, hey, step back so we can see you and let's walk you through your plan. And while we're doing this, we're recording, all this data, objective data on their adherence, on their performance. We track their range of motion. We send all this and we give it instantaneously back to the PT. So now you're unlocking personalized, measured care anywhere, anytime, and on any device in conjunction with meeting your PT face to face. So that's where you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I love your approach, and thank you so much for that kind of scenario and explanation. I know the audience and myself really appreciate it.
Sure.
So you've already accomplished a lot with Include Health. I know you're continuing to grow the company. What's next that you're really excited about that you can share with us here today?
We're at the tip of the iceberg. It's really exciting to see this shift in the industry and to see these providers starting to deliver care in multiple ways. Whether that's under fee for service models, like remote therapeutic monitoring is a big focus in the industry, right? Under fee for service. But as we continue to see value-based care rise and how you can leverage technology paired with real PTs in the clinic, there's a lot of interesting applications there. And then, what's also really interesting is some of the most progressive providers are focusing on delivering care beyond the episode. Physical therapy is one of those disciplines that, discharges their patient and you really don't see them again versus an ongoing relationship. So there's some pretty interesting opportunities of keeping access to physical therapy open and changing the way that you think about that.
Well, Ryan, I really want to thank you again for coming on, and we do want to have you come back on again at some
Awesome.
point on a panel or on another episode. We have all these different shows, right?
Sure.
But really appreciate you coming on. Look forward to seeing you at the HLTH conference. It's going to be a lot of fun. good networking, and
Absolutely.
excited to continue to watch the progress of Include Health and stay in touch with you.
Well, fantastic. I appreciate you having me on. I look forward to that.
Thanks.